This is Remix Report with your hosts, DJ JD and DJ J Spring. For the date of
February 17th, 2010.
Hey, welcome to episode 16 of Remix Report. I'm DJ JD.
And I'm DJ J Spring, and today is our second part of our opening playlist segment that we're going to start covering a little bit on Playlist Wednesdays.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks, we're going to give you different BPM ranges of songs that you could use in your opening set. Opening DJs are definitely a hot topic right now and always have been, really, for everybody in the industry. So we're trying to give you guys some tips on good songs that you can use during your opening set. So today we're going to be talking about songs in the BPM range of approximately 92 to 102 BPMs. Mostly a lot of R&B, hip-hop kind of stuff.
And of course we're going to have the list right there for you under the video, but right now we're just going to kind of go through the list a little bit and tell you how we came about this list. And by no means is it like a comprehensive, like, this is what you have to play. These are just some ideas, and if you see some of these songs, it'll probably make you think of others along the same lines.
Yeah, so if you think of any songs that might fit well in this list, please let us know in the comments, because everybody can definitely learn from that. So
let's just we'll go through the list a little bit, I guess. Right. Some of the ones we thought about closer to the 90 BPM range are Morrison, Return to the Mack, and shout out to DJ Skills, who has a good mix of that. Definitely. As we mentioned in his interview, if you haven't seen that yet, that's definitely a good track to play when you're opening. A lot of those older R&B songs, like Mary J. Blige, Family Affair, even Fat Joe, What's Love. And the good thing about a lot of those tracks, I was telling JD, is that it's not just straight R&B, it has hip-hop in there too, so it's kind of like you're playing a good mix.
Yeah, the hip-hop element definitely adds enough energy to it to be able to play early in the night. It has enough energy to get the girls dancing, and really the opening DJ is usually all about getting the girls out there on the floor. Sometimes opening, you're going to have an older crowd of ladies, because a lot of times they'll be out for like a bachelorette party or something. They'll get there early because a lot of the older ones will probably leave the club early. They won't necessarily stay. So definitely working in a good 90s R&B / hip-hop set can really be beneficial to get them out on the floor.
And let me just interrupt for a second and say that, as you guys probably know from the vibe of our site, is we're talking about Vegas style clubs.
Yes.
That's usually who we're gearing these to. And I mean, obviously if you're doing like a college crowd and there's a headlining DJ that night, it might be a little different. Than you're probably not going to have an older crowd there at the beginning. But like I said, we're usually gearing this towards the Vegas style clubs.
Yes,
as a reference.
Keep that in mind.
When we were making this list, these are tracks that the headliner likely isn't going to play, but they actually might play one or two of these, because if you mix them in right during prime time, these tracks will kind of be like a little bit of a surprise, and they could get a reaction. These are pretty solid tracks, but at the same time, don't be worried about playing these as an opening DJ, because I mean, no headliner would be mad if you brought these in.
Yeah, these are definitely old enough that you wouldn't have to be worried about playing them. Like something like Gold Digger, Kanye West. You could definitely still work that in during prime time, probably, just because it's such a good sing-along track. But really shouldn't be worried about playing that, because not a lot of headliners are going to be dropping that prime time.
And same thing with stuff like We're Trying to Stay Alive by Wyclef and Mariah, Fantasy. Those are solid tracks. Those are kind of classics in a way. But like JD said, headliners probably won't be playing those. They're just good tracks to play as an opener. We included a little bit of reggae. It's not really the typical classic reggae that you think of. You probably think of like Murder, She Wrote and stuff along that lines. We included Pon De Replay by Rihanna, Never Leave by Luv Me Luv Me, even Rich Girl by Gwen Stefani. And that's stuff that I can't really see many headliners playing, but at the same time it'll feed your crowd the reggae if they're asking for reggae.
Definitely, yeah. Like Murder, She Wrote is one that is kind of up in the air for me because I play that a lot of times prime time. It's really good, like reggae heater, always gets everybody jumping, but and you can play it really early too.
A lot of headliners don't actually play any reggae, I noticed, but when they do, they usually will play Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah,
so
very true.
Those few reggae tracks we included, those are definitely good openers.
Yeah, definitely some. 112 is pretty much a perennial opening set group. Songs like Only You, Bad Boy Remix, Peaches and Cream, Dance With Me, all really good songs to get the girls out there.
And we included some more recent ones too, like Get Me Bodied by Beyonce, The Cassie, Chris Brown, Sierra. So we definitely, it's good. You don't want to just play entirely old school. We tried to include some tracks from a few years ago too, and we'll include some newer tracks as we get up in BPM. This is just the second part. You can call it the first, I guess, because last week was an intro, but this is the first time we're talking about actual tracks you can play as an opener.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to be talking about a lot more BPM ranges.
Yeah, we took you to a little bit over 100 just now, and I think next week is probably in our next segment. It's probably the toughest part is getting from 100 to 115, 120.
Yeah, that upper hundreds to the teen range can be tough. There's not a ton of stuff out there.
And you know what? This whole thing isn't that easy. Like we mentioned in our intro video, because even when you get in, no matter what BPM range you're at, you can't really touch the hot stuff. That was the cat, by the way, that shook that camera.
Thanks, Electro. Jeez.
Even no matter what BPM range you're in, you can't play the hot stuff that you're used to. So that's really the point of us making this list, is kind of to guide you and give you some tracks you might not have thought about, you could have forgotten about. And as I said before, you'll see some of these tracks, if you already play them, they might give you some ideas for other tracks to play as well.
Definitely. So stay tuned, and of course, as always, let us know in the comments if there's anything you're playing that you would suggest to everybody else.
Definitely.
And we'll see you next time.
Remixreport.com